Hi everyone. Today we will discuss two important topics, that is, one is motion under gravity and another one is relative velocity. So we'll start with our first topic, that is motion under gravity. Motion under gravity. Ninth standard, already you have studied the motion of object under gravity. So if an object is thrown upwards, what happens? You are throwing an object upwards. So it will have some initial, you are throwing that object with some initial velocity. So we can say that initial velocity will not be zero. As it moves up, what happens? Its velocity gradually decreases, and after reaching a height, its velocity becomes zero. So we can say that v is equal to 0 when it reaches the maximum height. Similarly, when the object is dropped, so if you are dropping an object, what happens? When you are dropping an object, initially its velocity is 0. You are dropping that object, initially velocity will be 0. As it goes down, its velocity gradually increases. Okay. So this is the case of motion under gravity. So we can write for upward motion, we can write the equations of motions as v is equal to u minus gt, s equal to ut minus half gt square, and v square is equal to u square minus 2gs. Similarly, for downward motion, we can write as it comes down, its velocity increases. So we can write v is equal to u plus gt, s equal to ut plus half gt square, and v square is equal to u square plus 2gs. So these are the equations of motion for upward and downward motion. And what is the value of g? G, you have to take it as 9.8 meter per second square. Acceleration due to gravity has value 9.8 meter per second square. If it is given in the problem as 10 meter per second square, you can take it as, otherwise you have to take it as 9.8 meter per second square itself. Okay, is it clear to everyone? No? So we will discuss one problem based on this. Stone is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 4.9 meter per second. Find the time taken to reach maximum height. Second one, first one, find the time taken to reach the maximum height. Second one, the velocity with which it returns. The velocity with which it touches the ground. And third one, total time taken to come back to ground. So initial velocity it is given. What is the initial velocity? It is given 4.9 meter per second. Acceleration due to gravity, value 9.8 meter per second square. So here we can use which equation? Since the object is thrown upwards, we can write V is equal to U minus gt. When it reaches the maximum height, final velocity is 0. So we can write 0 is equal to U minus gt. So t is equal to U by g. U is 4.9 divided by 9.8, which is equal to 0.5 seconds. So at a time after throwing that object, after 0.5 seconds it will reach the maximum height. Okay. Then second part, what it is? The velocity with which it touches the ground. After reaching the maximum height, you are throwing an object from here, it reaches the maximum height, then what happens? At this case, final velocity is 0. Then it starts slowly coming downwards. As it coming downwards, because of gravity, its velocity gradually increases and reaches the same value as that of with which velocity you are throwing. Okay. So second case we can write velocity will be same velocity, that is 4.9 meter per second. And third case, the total time taken to reach back to the ground. So upward journey, what time it takes? 0.5 seconds. For downward journey, we can write for upward journey 0.5 seconds. For downward journey, same time it takes. (0.5 seconds. So total time taken will be 1 second. Okay. So third part we can write total time is equal to 1 second. Okay. Is this clear? Now we will discuss next one. Okay. Ball is thrown from the top of a tower with a velocity of 4.9 meter per second. Reaches the ground in 10 seconds. Calculate the height of the tower. So here a ball is thrown vertically upwards from the top of a tower with a velocity of 4.9 meter per second, reaches the ground in 10 seconds. Calculate the height of the tower. So here it is given that it is thrown. Okay. So as it moves, its initial velocity is given. What is the value? 4.9 meter per second. Okay. Now what happens? After reaching some height, don't know what height it will reach. But then it comes back and finally it reaches the ground. Okay. And you have to find the height of the tower. Okay. So here two ways are there. First method, what you can do, you can consider upward motion, downward motion up to here. At this point, what is the velocity that you have to find? Then you have to what to start with that what v square equal to u square plus 2gs. By that formula you have to find. Another method is that directly by using that equation s equal to ut minus half gt square. Why it is ut minus half gt square? Because initial velocity is in this direction. This is initial velocity direction. Acceleration due to gravity is acting downward direction. That's why we can take s equal to ut minus half gt square throughout the journey. Okay. And s can be written as minus h. If h is the height of the tower, why we are taking it as minus h? We are measuring from here to here. Actual initial velocity direction is opposite and we are measuring the height in opposite direction or displacement in opposite direction. That's why we can take it as minus h. So minus h is equal to ut minus half gt square. Initial velocity is given, what is the value? 4.9 into t is given 10 minus half into 4.9 into 10 square is 100. 10 square itself we can write. You can simplify it, what you will get? 2.45. No? 2.45 you will get. So 49 minus 245. 245 minus 49, what you will get? You can subtract it. $196. No? So we will get it as minus 196. So minus h is equal to minus 196, or we can write h is equal to 196 meters. This is one way. Another way what you have to do is that you have to find what is the time taken to reach the maximum height, and when it reaches this maximum height, what is the time taken, that you have to find. And here when it reaches at this height, this what is the velocity, that you have to note it down. Then with that velocity it is coming down, then that you have to take it as initial velocity. Final velocity you can consider it as final velocity, you cannot take it as 0. Again you have to use what is the time taken for only for this part separately. You have to find time, then you have to use this equation. Then no need of applying minus h and those, you will get it. Okay, is it clear? Understood? No? Okay. Relative velocity. So if two objects are moving, two objects may be moving with different velocities and their initial positions will be different, final positions will be different. So how to find the relative velocity of two objects? Okay. So we are considering two objects 1 and 2, and x1 of t can be written as x1 of 0 plus v1 into t, where we are assuming that these two objects are moving with uniform velocity. Similarly, x2 of t can be written as x2 of 0 plus v2t. So, if we are finding relative displacement of first object with respect to second object, how to find? We can write x2t minus x1t. We are doing 2 minus 1. Okay, equation 2 minus equation 1. x2t minus x1t can be written as x2 of 0. Here x2 of 0 means at t is equal to 0, the position. That is what is meant by x2. At t is equal to 0, the position of the second object. And x1 of 0 means at t is equal to 0, position of the first object. Plus v2 minus v1 into t. Or we can write x2 t minus x1t minus of x2 of 0 minus x1 of 0 is equal to v2 minus v1 into t, or v2 minus v1 can be written as x2 of t minus x1 of t minus x2 of 0 minus x1 of 0 divided by t. And this is known as relative velocity. So how can you define relative velocity? So this we can write it as velocity of second object with respect to first object, that is given by v2 minus v1, which is equal to the difference in displacements. No, x2t minus x20 is the displacement of the second object. Similarly, x1 of t minus x1 of 0 is the displacement of the first object. So we can write it as displacement of the second object minus displacement of the first object divided by time. Okay, that is known as relative velocity. Okay, relative velocity of second object with respect to first object is the ratio of the difference in displacement of second object with respect to first object, or we can say that second object displacement of second object minus displacement of first object divided by time. That is known as relative velocity. Okay, is it clear? Understood? No? When two objects are moving in the same direction, with same velocity, moving in the same direction with same velocity. So what will be the relative velocity? Two objects are moving in the same direction with same velocity. So v2 minus v1 will be, but it will be v2 and v1 both are equal, so v2 minus v1 will be 0. So in this case, what will be the shape of the graph? So here we are noting down time in seconds, and here velocity. Convenient unit we can mention. Here I am showing in meter per second. Okay. So initially we are assuming that both are at different positions. Okay, not can be at same position also. We are assuming that both are at different position. So this is first object is at this position and second object is at this position. Okay. Now the velocity of the object is same. So whatever may be the, this is not velocity. Here it should be position. No, we have to mention the position. Position in meters. Velocity will be same. You will get a straight line graph. No need to worry because both are having same velocity. So here we are drawing position time graph. So initially the object is at this position, and first object is at this position, and second object is at this position. So whatever may be the initial separation, the same separation will be continued. Why? Both are traveling with same velocity. Okay. So the graph will be two straight lines parallel to each other. It will not look like straight line. It will not look parallel curve. No. It should be parallel. It will be parallel to each other. Okay. So these two lines, even though it's not seems to be parallel, when you draw, it should be drawn in such a way that they should be parallel. Okay. Why it is parallel? At every instant of time, the separation should remain same. Okay. Separation will remain same throughout the journey. Initially, what is the separation? Same separation will be. If both are starting from the same position, what happens? Two lines will be coinciding. Okay. So this is the situation when two objects are moving with same velocity, but their initial positions are different. Or we can say that this is the case when relative velocity is 0. Now we will discuss the next case. Okay. Next case we will discuss. When V2 is greater than V1, which means V2 minus V1 is positive. V2 minus V1 will be a positive quantity. So we are considering how the position time graph looks if relative velocity is positive. Here it is position in meters and time in seconds. So initially object is at this position and first object is at this position and second object is at this position. So V2 minus V1 is positive, which means V2 is greater than V1. No? V2 is greater than V1. Which means the second object will move with a greater velocity. So the separation of those two objects will be gradually increasing. The second object is moving with a greater velocity. So its velocity will be gradually increasing. Separation will be gradually increased. Okay. You can see that this will be its separation. Here you can see that what is the separation and here you can see the separation. So we can say that the separation for the positions or the displacement between those two objects will be gradually increasing because V2 is greater than V1. Okay. This is the second case. Now we will discuss the third situation. V2 minus V1 is negative. So we are considering the position time graph. Time in seconds. Position in meters. So initially the object is at this position. Okay. So its position time graph, for example, if it is like this for the first object. Okay. First object. For the second object it is at this position. But what happens here? We can consider this position. So here its velocity is lesser and its velocity, first this is second object. So we can see that since the first object is having more velocity, V2 minus V1 is negative means V1 is more. No. So what happens as this object, first object moves, it will overtake the second object at a position. At this position, first object is overtaking second object and since the velocity of second object is smaller, it overtakes and their separation again gradually increases. Okay, is it clear? Initially their separation is more because second object is starting at a larger distance. No? It is starting from this position and first object is starting from this position. Okay. But as time goes on, since the velocity of the first object is more, it crosses this second object or it overtakes the second object and their separation again increases. Or in other words, we can say that the second object is having a lesser slope in comparison with first object. If you draw a straight line, you can see that this angle and this angle, which is having more angle? More angle is corresponding to this line and we discussed slope of position time graph is equal to velocity. No? Slope of position time graph is velocity. So whichever is having more angle, so we can write, if we are writing theta 1 and theta 2, so we can write tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1. Okay. So we can say that first object is having more velocity than second object. Okay. So one or two problems based on this we will discuss. Okay. A and B are traveling with velocities of 60 km per hour and 45 kilometer per hour. Find the relative velocity if both the cars are traveling eastwards and find the relative velocity of A with respect to B. Okay, you can write. For B with respect to A, we have to write it. Even find the relative velocity of A with respect to B. With respect to B. If A is moving eastwards and B westwards. A is moving towards east direction, B is moving towards west direction. What is the relative velocity? Okay, so we can write here. We will write velocity, relative velocity. What you have to write? Velocity of A with respect to B. Velocity of A with respect to B can be written as velocity of A minus velocity of B. Here it is given. A is moving in this direction. B is also moving in the same direction. No, it is given. So it will be VA minus VB. What is VA? VA is 60. And what is VB? VB is 45. So you will get 15 unit is kilometer per hour. Now find the relative velocity of A with respect to B itself. But in this case, what happens? A is moving in this direction, but A is in this direction, B is opposite direction. So in that case, we have to write VA minus, here velocity of B is in opposite direction. So we have to write minus VB. Okay. VA minus, why minus sign is taken? Because this direction we are taking it as positive. And the second car is moving in opposite direction of first car. So VB we have to take it as minus VB. So VA minus VB, or we can write it as VA plus VB. So that is equal to 60 plus 45, which is equal to 105 kilometer per hour. Okay. So this is the thing that you have to keep it in mind. If two vehicles or two objects are moving in same direction, when you are finding relative velocity of one object minus another object, if they are moving in opposite direction, you can add the velocities to get the relative velocity. Okay. And sometimes they may ask in problem, calculate the relative velocity of the object with respect to the ground. So if they ask for in the same problem, if it is asked, calculate the relative velocity of the car A with respect to ground. So like this, if it is asked, what you have to do? Relative velocity of car A with respect to ground. Ground is at rest, so we can write velocity of car A with respect to ground can be written as velocity of the object minus velocity of ground. Velocity of the object is 60. So 60 minus 0 is equal to 60 kilometer per hour. Velocity of the ground, velocity of the car with respect to ground, we can write it as 60 kilometer per hour. Okay, is it clear? So here in these problems, you have to specify direction. Here what will be the direction? It will be eastward direction. And here also you have to specify the direction eastward. Okay. And here also we can write it is eastward direction. Okay. Velocity of A with respect to B, we can write velocity of A with respect to ground. Same way we can find velocity of B if it is asked, relative velocity, if in the same problem, if it is asked. So we will delete this and we will discuss. Okay. Understood? No, we will discuss the next part. So instead of this, if they ask to find BBA, okay, they asked to find velocity of A with respect to B. So if they asked, also calculate BBA if it is there. Okay. So what you have to do? BBA is equal to velocity of B minus velocity of A. Velocity of B is, what is the velocity of B? 45 minus 60, which is equal to minus 15. So here we consider the direction of velocity of B as positive. You got it as minus. So we can write again it is eastward. Minus 15. Minus 15. What is the unit? Unit we have to write it as kilometer per hour. Minus 15 kilometer per hour westward direction, or in other words we can write plus 15 kilometer per hour eastward direction. Okay. Understood? No? Similarly, if they ask what is the velocity of B with respect to ground, so what you have to find? Velocity of B minus velocity of ground. Velocity of B is what value? 45, and velocity of ground is 0. So you can write 45 kilometer per hour westward. Okay, understood? No. So this is the way of solving problems based on relative velocity. You can refer similar problems from your textbook and reference book, and if you are having any doubt, you can contact me. Okay.